Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Pola Hempowicz, and today we'll continue talking about the Emmys. It was interesting 2 weeks or 15 days, 10 days, 10 days. Very interesting 10 days of the Emmy news. So let's just take a look. We had Primetime Emmy Awards on the 15th of September. And do I have some thoughts? Oh, of course, I do have some thoughts. Did I like seeing the reunion of the West Wing? You bet. Have I just finished reading what's next? Of course. And if you think I'm planning on rewatching the whole series, let me just tell you that I'm already on season 3. I'm getting closer to season 4, so CJ is soon going to be in trouble. I don't know how many times I've seen the show. This is just, I don't know. In my opinion, this is the best show that has ever been made for television. Season 2, it's as close to perfection as it can possibly get. And if there is a church of Aaron Sorkin, I would like to subscribe. I love how this man writes. It's magnificent, to me. What else? Murphy Brown or Shirley Schmidt or Candice Bergen was on stage. Meow. She is phenomenal. Boy, I love this woman. She's so talented. It was just such a pleasure to see her on stage. And hey, the justice was served because Hacks won the best comedy and not The Bear, because The Bear is not a comedy, as we all agreed. There were so many jokes at The Bear expense, and it sucks, but in my opinion, there should be stricter rules into submitting a content that might fit into dramedy category, but it was never produced or created to make people laugh. The funny is a part of the story, but it's not the core of it. So I'm just so happy that Hacks bagged the award for the best comedy, because it deserves. It's a fantastic show. I highly recommend it. And my absolute favorite thing about this Emmy ceremony was that comedy was finally the award of the night. You know, for years, the last category that was presented was Best Drama. And of course, we've seen some incredible storytelling in Best Drama category, including The West Wing I just mentioned. But comedy, it's so hard to write a good comedy, and it's so hard to act it. It's so hard to make it so popular and beloved. It's not as easy as it is with dramas. Dramas could be gripping and interesting and with cliffhangers, and comedy, it's just have to constantly make you laugh or improve your mood. And so yeah, it should be the award of the night. So yay this decision, and I hope this will stay like this for another 76 years or 5 at least, you know. So yeah. But that was not the end of the Emmy news that week, because very soon after, we've heard the announcement that came straight from New York, and this was all about the nominees for the International Emmy Awards. As you know, I'm the member of the Academy, and I am very honored to be included in this prestigious group of people, or this prestigious organization. And let me tell you, boy, am I in love with these nominations. There are some fantastic shows. included in the list of the best and hoping to get the beautiful statue. And this is a very special year for Poland because for the very first time in 15 years, we have a nomination. And it's quite a nomination, I'll tell you. It is for a arts programming documentary program. It is called Pianoforte. It's produced by Telemark, which is a fantastic Polish production company. And it is about the Chopin music competition, which is our pride. And it's been going on for many, many decades. And I'm so happy that I don't have anything to do with the show, but I just participate in this success as a volunteer. But Polish creators, they're finally getting the recognition they so rightly deserved. So this makes me just incredibly happy to witness this. But other than Polish production, there's Sixth Commandment. And if you're a fan of true crime stories, the way I am, and if you're watching that chapter, Coffee House Crime, Bailey Saren, and Kendall Ray, you're either familiar with the story or you want to be familiar with the story because it's a wild, true story. But it's not a documentary. It's in a mini series category, and it's coming from the UK. And it's the casting itself should win an award. It's a story about this young man who has an affair with older professor, and then one thing leads to another, and I don't know, but Professor dies, and suddenly the young guy gets some money out of this, and then there's another person who dies, and you know, who would have expected that? Oh, and I think they got kind of married or betrothed to each other, whatever that means. To be honest with you, is it marriage? It's not marriage. It's a difference. I don't want to Google it. Can somebody just put it in a comment? That would be nice. Thank you. But anyway, if you see it on any of the streaming platforms, or if you're in UK, give yourself a favor and or do yourself a favor and just watch the show. It's fantastic. And the main actor is also in the running for best performance by an actor, but he is just brilliant. He is just brilliant. There is a fantastic and very important documentary from Brazil called Transo, and it's about sexuality of disabled people and also the LGBTQ community. And I just wish we saw these kind of stories more often, and these issues should be brought up to a wider attention because they just feel important. And I consider myself an open-minded person and aware and educated, although that doesn't really, it's not important, but I didn't even think about the lives of people with disabilities and how we infantilize them and how we're not taking their body seriously. And this was eye-opening experience when I saw it. So I just hope it will gain as wide audience as possible, and that everybody will see it. There is a very important series in a short form series called Point of No Return. It comes from Spain, and there are far more attention and award-worthy shows in this year's competition. There are 56 nominees from 21 countries in 14 categories. And since we're talking about categories, I thought that I will tell you a little bit more about the judging process, because it's not like any other competition that I'm aware of. And it's quite complicated. And I think it's a little intimidating to creatives. So if you have a program, if you worked on a TV production, if you starred in it, maybe you'd like to know what's going to happen once you click send and submit your work. And maybe it will get you encouraged to go for it. And if you already have a program in a competition, maybe you'll have a better understanding of what is the best thing to do right now. Okay. So first, there are 14 categories. There are actually more. There are 16, I think. But I'm excluding in this competition, I'm excluding news and current affairs, which have their separate ceremonies, they have their separate nominations, and so on and so on. But for the awards that will be announced on the 25th of November this year in New York, at the gala, there are 14 categories. Now, every category is divided into four territories, regions of the world. So you have Latin America, you have Europe, excluding UK. You have one big region, which is Asia, Africa, and Middle East. And you have English-speaking territories, which is Canada, Australia, and UK. And the reason why it's like this, and I think it's brilliant, it's because you're eliminating conflict of interest. You're eliminating influences. You're sterilizing the competition. So there's not many opportunities to influence the final result. Actually, there are 0 opportunities to influence the final result. And that's because the juries are very carefully selected. And there are 3 stages of judging process. First is this initial selection, and it's taking place online. And you don't have to be a member of the Academy, but you do have to be an expert in the category that you're judging. So when I was working for Comedy Central, I would only be judging comedies. Actors would judge acting performance, acting categories. An actor would not judge a documentary. So the Academy takes great care into making sure that experts making the decisions, people with knowledge and experience, producers, TV executives, everybody on the highest level is getting involved. The second stage is taking place in person. So the members of the Academy would apply to become hosts. And again, you'll get the category which is in line with your expertise. And you're hosting an event and you're hand selecting judges. There are around 10 or 15 judges per session. And again, it has to get an approval. Every single thing needs to be approved by the Academy. So again, you have to have a team of experts. Every single jury is confidential. You will never know who is judging your content. But the only thing that you will know is that your friends will not be judging your content if you're coming from the same country. So I will never judge a category from Europe. So I won't see French productions. I won't see Spanish productions. I won't see Italian. And I will never get to judge Polish productions in the first and the second round. The same goes for, Canadians. They will never get to see who's apply or who's in a competition from Australia or the UK. Again, it's to remove all the conflicts of interest. And I think it really is, it really makes a lot of sense. Now, so there are 14 categories. Each has 4 regions, and there are 3 stages. So now multiply all of these, and this is how many judging sessions you have. This is how many judging panels you have. And you'll never know who's watching what. Sometimes people announce it once it's finished, once you submit it, your ballot, but you cannot discuss it prior to the event. During the judging sessions, especially those taking place in person, there is no deliberation. There is no getting together and saying, oh, what did you think about that one? Oh, I don't like this one. No, but I have to convince you. No, you're filling out the ballot with your own marks, and then you just submit it, and the number of votes or the scores are counted by Ernst & Young. And even Academy employees don't know who's scoring what. This all is happening through Ernst & Young. And then the final judging stage is, of course, we have 4 nominees. So we're now in this season. For the next month, selected group, I'm not the jury member, but the selected group of people will vote in each category. It's going to be different jury for different category. We'll vote again, whether it's going to win or not. This is where the decision is taking place. And so I got this question, okay, Pola, so tell me, how much money do I spend for the marketing budget? Now that we have the nominees, who's in the jury? Which country do I target? Is it New York? Who is it? And that's the beauty of this competition. Again, there is no way to influence it. You know, when you have the Oscars and probably other awards as well, prior to the awards, you'll see the city is completely postered with the promotional material of the films in a competition. And it's more of the awareness competition rather than quality competition. In the International Emmy Awards, it's only about the quality. If you win, that means that the group of experts coming from this industry voted unanimously or not, but the points added up to you becoming the best of the 4. So there is no way. You don't have to spend any money on marketing when you have a nomination, because there's no way to sway the jurors. Now, I would like to make sure that everybody knows about one thing that is probably one of the most important things to know about the nominees. Because of how the competition is structured, you have 4 regions and 4 nominees in every category, which means that every single one of the nominees has already won because they are the best in their region. You'll see there is one representative in the nominees from Europe, from Latin America, and so on, which means that they've already won. They're already the best. So, for example, in Europe, in the category of arts programming, there's nobody better, or there's no better documentary than Pianoforte. Nobody scored higher. This is the winner. So sometimes you might feel when you don't win that it was a loss or that you weren't good enough, but that's not true. You were actually the best already in your region. And that leads us to another point that I wanted to raise, is that the awards are the awards ceremony is taking place on Monday. But prior to this, there is a World Television Festival taking place in New York, which is a delicious celebration of everybody that's nominated. There is an opening cocktail on Friday evening, but the actual festival starts on Saturday morning with the medal ceremony. And this is such a moving ceremony to me. And if you ask me, I find this far more beautiful and special than the gala itself, because we truly are celebrating the accomplishment of being an Emmy nominee. And at this point, everybody is a winner, and everybody is equal, and everybody comes on stage, and everybody gets a medal, and everybody gets an ovation and a support and cheer and best wishes, and it's just such a joyous time. I think it's fantastic, and it's just so touching. I love being a part of this. This is my favorite part of the whole weekend in New York. And then we go for 2 days with panels where you get to hear from the nominees. They get to tell you about their journey, about their content, about their production, about the topic of their focus. And it is just so inspiring. It's just so inspiring. I cannot tell you how proud I am just to be a witness of this celebration. And I love television, and I love being in this industry, and I love my jobs, every single one of them. Well, not one of them. There was one that I hated. But it was for an amazing company. So, I got something out of it. But majority of my jobs are just it's just such a pleasure to have it. And it's such a blessing to have a career that that I had, or that I'm having. And I just cannot imagine myself doing anything else. I just love storytelling and creative people, and to see them being celebrated. It's I don't know. This is my Christmas, to be honest with you. It's usually coming 1 month earlier. So if you have any questions, soon we will be opening new competition. So the beginning of December, the competition will open for all the productions and all the performances that were premiered this year in 2024. So if there's something that you worked on, if there's something that you've created, I think you should submit it. So many people will see it. Some will love it. Some will want to buy it. And some will want to collaborate with you on the next project. So just do it. You have nothing to lose. And I think it's worth it. So that's it from me today. It's all the news and insights about the Emmy world that I have for you today. If you found it interesting, that would be nice if you just like this video. That would be really nice. It would be really nice also if you just share it in a comment which is your favorite series, or what is something that you've seen this year that made an impression on you. Or you can just tell me how many times you've seen West Wing. I think that's one of the crucial information that I require. But in the meantime, I hope you're having a wonderful end of September and the beginning of autumn. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.